what does the Stratorius have for us today? Oh, God. The complex morality of Rule 34. You want me to watch 51 minutes? All right, we'll give this a few minutes at least. Discussions of mature topics. Viewer discretion is advised.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a tier list of characters from various media franchises I found online. This isn't mine, I grabbed it off tiermaker.com. It looks normal on the surface, but the more you stare, the more you can't shake the feeling that something is a little off. The ratio of men to women here is a little skewed. Understatement of—
You're kidding me. The ratio of men to women in Rule 34 is skewed?
No shit.
This is absolute news to me. I never would have guessed it.
with seemingly random entries thrown in with no rhyme or reason. Raven's at the very top. Zelda, Widowmaker.
Yo,
there's Tifa.
Whoa. Why? Why is Princess Tia Beatty in here? Who is making Rule 34 of Tia Beatty?
Some Sonic characters.
Yeah.
Some Simpsons characters.
I want to know why in this list. I know why I'm seeing My Little Pony characters. I don't even know why the thought formed. Also, I know this is Naruto transformed, but isn't that technically a dude? Why is the little Splatoon octopus girl in why is the star from Mario in here? Who looks at the star from Mario and just goes, yeah, I like the way your points point. This is a literal baby. No.
How dare you!
Most of the entries here seem to be adults, but there's a few towards the bottom. Definitely not.
Yeah,
And the top
literally
entry,
just said that.
Raven, it's Teen Titans, right? I assume. In any case, it's a nice...
All right. Who all is in this tier? This whole thing here we got. Some of these I'm not going to recognize. So they showed us all this. There's no rules against the Pokemon Batman. Sorry. The Sonic characters confuses the shit out of me. The star confuses the shit out of me. Also, wait, let's go back here.
Sonic characters, some Simpsons characters. Most of the entries here...
Original character. What's original character? Urza being B is absolutely a crime. Original character. Again, I go back to my point with the Mario star. Who looks at the original character selector of Smash Brothers and it gets them going? Jake the dog? Jake the dog is arguably like a hentai octopus. He can transform himself into any shape or size, and he's like 100 years old or some shit. I don't know. But the original character, really? This is baffling. The star is baffling. The children, absolutely baffling.
Rule 34 encompasses everything that exists.
Listen, you didn't have to add the jiggle animation to your freaking OC character, all right?
Encompasses
you didn't have
everything
to do that.
that's on the
That
internet.
was completely
it pushes
unnecessary.
the boundaries of what's
I bet she's into the star.
in taboo. Rule 34 content often involves familiar characters in unfamiliar taboo situations. This element of
Pixar
surprise
land.
and transgression can be around.
Hey, have you seen the old Pixar the intro thing to the movies? Yeah, the Pixar lamp's a freak. The way he's jumping on that eye. Come on. It was only a matter of time.
Male Rule 34 consumers were more motivated to consume the material for seeking excitement compared to human corn. There was no significant motivational difference in consuming 34 and human pornography across the other types of motivations,
All right.
including avoiding negative emotions, satisfying sexual curiosity, and facilitating sexual pleasure. The current findings indicate that motivations for consuming different types of pornography could depend on an individual's characteristics. The current findings somewhat support recent findings. Another study found that among the least frequent users of corn in their sample tended to be motivated to use it out of sexual curiosity. Furthermore,
Yeah,
moderate frequent
okay.
users of corn
They've literally stated nothing but common knowledge of all of that. You know what I'm saying? Motivation.
tended to be motivated by sexual pleasure, while the highest frequent corn users tended to be motivated by both sexual pleasure and sexual curiosity.
No! People are consuming corn, to use the terminology the host of the video here is. People are consuming corn for sexual curiosity and exploration? You don't say. Here, I was just trying to study it for some Freudian, Nietzsche kind of study samples. But people are actually using this stuff to get off to? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Essentially, what that little blurb said is that an individual's frequency of the habit might change with their motivations. The two factors are strongly linked.
So, what this is saying, in layman's terms, is that the more you consume, the more you gotta, up the ante to actually get off. Less curiosity and more seeking. It's you're desensitizing yourself to the act of corn. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of fucking going there.
Moving up the frequency scale,
That's the
it
thing.
starts with curiosity, then moves to pleasure, and then both. So there's not one set in stone reason all of us seek it out. There's common reasons, but they differ, and there's different levels of it, based on how deep in the sauce you are. The absolute ubiquity of Rule 34 speaks to the ways in which sexuality has been commodified and turned into content online. In the attention economy, sex sells. I mean, just look at my channel. And Rule 34 artists have built entire careers around this fact. The sheer volume of Rule 34 content is both impressive and a bit dystopian, a sign of how
It's absolutely dystopian. So, as you get your curiosity in, you start getting desensitized to it. And then, the regular mom and pop corn that you found as a teenager don't do it for you no more. So you gotta keep up in the ante and up in the ante. And then next thing you know, you're a total friggin' degenerate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't shit the bed before we get there. Just keep it open mind. It'll be fine.
All right.
Before we really dig into the specific
I don't care about
franchises with
Overwatch.
Rule
Let's see what they
34
got to
abound.
say about the Pokemons. Remember, there's no rules against the Pokemon, Batman. The fears of promoting the beasties are valid. That should not be the number one concern. Sorry, I don't know how much longer I can do this Jersey Boston mesh. I think the number one concern should be that all of the main characters of the Pokemon franchises are children. Normally, the artists do not choose to up-age them. I think that's a bigger concern than the fictional electric rat. Don't get me wrong. It's a problem. But, the drawings of children,
everywhere in this argument, but if you're looking for my opinion, that anthro versus feral distinction is where that line rests. I've unfortunately run into both, but I will say the latter is thankfully far more uncommon. In 1999, what was named the Pokemon Doujinshi incident, Doujinshi meaning self-published,
especially
an artist was arrested on suspicion of violating Japan's copyright laws for creating a manga featuring erotic acts between Pikachu and Ash
there was a
Ketchum,
meme going
the main
around
characters
about
of the Pokemon anime.
Trump
Obviously
can
problematic
still
because
win.
Ash
Just
Ketchum
look up
is typically
Trump Rule
depicted as
34.
a child. According to the copyright holder Nintendo, the manga was destructive of the Pokemon image. The incident
curiosity
incited
got the
media
better of me.
furor, as well as an academic
And
analysis
I
in
knew what it
Japan
was- I
on the
knew what it was
copyright
going for.
issues around Japan.
I knew.
In the
I knew. I was still shocked and surprised, nonetheless, that there was Trump Rule 34.
parody by Brazzers, Cornstar Go XXX parody, and the VR Corn parody of Pokemon Go, Poca-Ho, Misty. A certain author of gay erotica also released a book called
What do you mean? Ask if they have political for. Don't you I don't know how old you are, dogs, but don't you remember back in 2012 with John McCain and Sarah Palin, the ever popular series of Who's Nailin' Palin? Yeah, there's absolutely.
themselves were preferred over the trainers, with the top choice being
You know, they just said that the Pokemon themselves were preferred over the trainers. I am both proud and disgusted at the human race for not choosing the childlike and trainers, but instead choosing the Pokemon. But at the same time, I don't exactly know what to do with this information. Both happy and disgusted. Just quantify. Happily disgusted. Let's go with that.
very well designed.
I'm overstimulated. I'm overstimulated by this.
That became known outside the fandom, such as
damn it.
the Vaporeon copy pasta, a diatribe arguing about sexual compatibility between a Vaporeon and a human, originally posted on 4chan. It goes a little something like this. Hey guys, did you know that in terms of male human and female Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans? Not only are they in the field egg group, which is mostly comprised of mammals,
Why is this
Vaporeon
so
are an average
detailed?
of 3 foot 3 inches tall and 63.9 pounds. This means they're large enough to be able to handle
What?
human. And
No!
with their impressive base stats for HP and access to acid armor,
I have
you can be rough with
read-
one. Dude,
This 4chan or Reddit, I don't remember where, I have read this whole description. Why Vaporeon is so but hearing it spoken out loud is so... Why did somebody go through Vaporeon's stats piece by piece and put out a detailed explanation of why? Why? Listen, Strat, I can't. Listen. We're gonna end this whole thing with the classic.
Oh no, Joker. Don't tell me.
You already know, Batman. You know what I'm gonna do to that thing.
Joker, it's an animal, Joker. You can't.
Batman, there's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman. I can do whatever I want with it.